It's Juliet here, and Brigitte Antelme in the south of France, not on the North Atlantic coast at this moment in time, but in her lovely source centre in the, what department are you in, Brigitte?
I'm southwest, Midi-Pyrénées. Midi-Pyrénées.
Yeah,
and I was on the Atlantic, southwest Atlantic Ocean.
Wonderful.
So just driven back home.
So that's wonderful. You've just had a huge drive, haven't you?
Yes. It's okay. Many lorries, but it's all right.
Well, there's a lot of traffic on the road.
Yes, on the other way. Yes, and our way. Yes, so it was okay. We shared.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering if, before we start talking about anything, whether this is actually, oh yes, okay. We seem to be working. That's good. Yeah, so I'm just wondering if before, sorry everyone that I have to go through this every time. It's like maybe one day I will upgrade or something, so this will be seamless if I carry on for doing this forever and ever and ever. Because I think we're having mixed feelings today about life, aren't we, Brigitte? Re-evaluating our lives. Is it working for us?
Well, I feel we are really coming at places, not just us, Juliet, you and I, but I feel everyone right now is having to meditate or ponder and really reflect on what is it that I need to discard or shed in my life, what's no longer serving my purpose.
Yeah.
As this being of light and this being of, yes, this conscious being, as much as any of us are ever conscious. And as far as I know, with my level of consciousness, I have to make choices right now.
Yeah.
Is the place where I am? Yes. So is this place serving me? Because I've been dealing with it on my own.
So before you go any further, nobody knows what this place means to you. So let's just take a pause and welcome in. We've got Elias. Is that how you say your name, Elias? Elias? I'm just saying. You just
Elias and Tara. Ma. Oh, another Ma.
Yeah, another Ma. And we've got we have some people, some guests arriving, and we have Marianne all the way from America, from Santa Barbara. Wow. Hi, Marianne. It's lovely that you're on the call. And would others like to say? Oh, that's how I say your name, Elias. That's good. That's good. So would anyone else like to say hello in this moment? We'd love to be able to put your hello up on the screen and welcome you.
I'd love to know what Elias means, please. Oh, Melanie King.
Melanie, hi.
Elias. Wow. And what does it mean? Does it have a meaning? Because all names have. Stephanie. Hello, Stephanie.
Welcome, Stephanie. Have you been on the call before? I'm not sure if you have.
Right.
So it's lovely to have you here. And yeah, that's great. People are showing up. Does that mean that I actually managed to share it properly this time? Because
you shared it on Facebook. So you got your name in meditation. It means feminine name of God. Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. Marianne says, lovely to be here with you and a much valued
touchstone in my week. What a beautiful way of wording that. A valued touchstone. A place that feels solid, grounded. Yes, a bit like the roots of an ancestral tree. Thank you. That's beautiful.
So Stephanie met me on Sunday.
It's a
Thank you, Stephanie. My life is such a whirlwind. It's like I can't remember what happened yesterday. It's just like so many things going on all the time, and it's like I really like to be a lot slower, but that's the way it is at the moment. It's just manic. And then Zoe says, "Hey,
You've got
ladies." Yeah. So
okay.
Stephanie, it's lovely to meet you. Lovely to meet you on Sunday. And if I slow down a minute, I can. Can you remind me a bit more? What were we doing on Sunday? It's a complete blur. Now, that doesn't sound very flattering, is it? Like, oh my God, what was I doing on Sunday?
Matt's house. At Matt's house.
Ah, at Matt's house. Matt's house. Yes, yes, absolutely. That was a great day, wasn't it? I'd totally forgotten we did this. We did
Hello,
the,
Jack
yeah, Jack, hi, blessings.
from sunny Stafford. Lovely to have you.
Oh, wow, I'm glad you've got the sun. It's like huge grey sky here with lots of grey clouds, lots of big grey clouds. So, yeah, nice. Melanie says greetings. So, Melanie, we've been bringing your beautiful, beautiful cabin over here today, which is lovely. I'm really excited about that. So that's a big thing. So, Brigitte, you were, let's
Now,
return.
I was just thinking, as we are opening, how about doing a gong?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, let's do that.
Would that be delightful for everyone? Yes, Melanie.
You might need to come back a little bit from the mic. I remember once before you did the gong and then there was like strange, but just try it, see how it works. Let's just listen to this beautiful gong. I can't hear it very well. Come closer. Try it again, Brigitte.
You can't hear it.
We can. It's not very strong, but Jack says it's delightful and Melanie says it's wonderful, so that's good. Do another one.
It's interesting how both Tibetan voice.
Oh, well, it was interesting because depending where you had it, I could hear it or I couldn't hear it. But what I did notice was just this feeling in me when I got the sound of how I just like dropped down, just the feeling of like settling in myself.
I really felt
Yeah.
it really mattered. I've just driven a long way, so it really mattered to just.
So you've just driven for how many hours, Brigitte?
No, not that many. 3.5 hours. It's okay. It's not too bad. Well, we left at 10:30 this morning, and we arrived at 5. So it's okay. And we stopped on the way.
Yeah, big journey.
Yeah.
So so you got back home, and then I was asking you, how is it to be back home? And that's at the start of the call. You were saying you were re-evaluated. So could you share
Yes. Having walked by the waters of the ocean, I'd only gone for a week, but I stayed over 3.5 weeks. And I really did every day. So I'm just being in presence with, with the waters of life. A sense of honoring, absolutely honoring at every level, right down to picking up the trash in absolute detachment and feeling it was the greatest offering I could do daily for the waters, for the beaches, And don't get me wrong, I didn't do it for the people. I did it for this beautiful earth. And if the people walk, then of course that will serve them as well. But my focus was really an homage to Pachamama and the waters. So yes, having been in that place of, for the first time in years, having a real holiday, well, in a forced holiday because
You were
the van
stuck
broke down. The van broke down.
and you couldn't get
And
home.
yeah, and what it asked me was just I had to walk everywhere. I did have a bicycle, but it was a very old bicycle. And in the end, it was easier to walk everywhere. So how does it feel to go from a place where I was with the waters, the sand, the beautiful quality when the waters come, and even children have played, people have walked, you can see the footprints, and the wave comes in and it just brings back that pristine quality. It's like a clean slate. And it wasn't doing that once, it was doing that at every tide. High tide, low tide, high tide, low tide. And that beautiful sense of rhythm, that everything has a connection. The moon, the sun, the pool, and we had the high tides in around the 8th and the 9th and the 10th of October, when we had the highest tides ever, 4 meters 8, which is about, I don't know, it's very tall. And then the lowest tides, which receded minus 0.3, minus 0.5. So you could walk way out and walk your feet in bed of where the waters usually come in. And that felt very sacred. And now I'm back home and I've just walked in the garden and I've got carpets of golden cold chickens.
Crocuses. Is that crocuses?
Yes, the golden one, the yellow autumnal ones. They're called in France,
yeah.
oui, les crocus, les colchiques d'automne. Les colchiques d'automne. So I will have to give you some, Juliet, for your place in France.
No, I do have some you gave me, but I did see them a few years back. But of course, I haven't been there for 2 years, which is it's like really sad. I'm really missing my house in France. I'm really missing seeing you as well. So
yes, I miss seeing you too. So we have to find a way of how to connect. So what I realized as well was how to bring in a connection. How can we hold the connections between all these different places within ourselves and within, like you are in England, I'm in France, Jack is in England, Marianne, Melanie,
Mexico.
some of you are in America, Canada, and it is just, you know, and yet we're in unity. So how can we maintain that and not go with separating again?
It's quite interesting because I was listening to the Collective Trauma Summit, which it's like partway through at this moment.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because they were talking about, it was a particular video, it's like how to rear children without traumatizing them. I don't know if you saw that one. I did post it in the Healing the Earth, Healing the Planet Through Healing Trauma page that I've got, the group page I've got, so people can log on there and see it. But it's only available for a couple of days. And it's quite interesting because this weekend is my trauma skills training, and we are focusing on developmental trauma. So where I'm getting to is all about connection. And the man that was speaking, who's a friend of very, very old friend of Dr. Gabor Mate, I can't remember his name. They've been friends for about 30 years, and Gabor Mate went to him when he was having problems with his own child and thought that the child was dysfunctional. And this man, who's a psychologist, said, no, Gabor, it's you, you're the problem. So he pointed out to Gabor, and I think that was the starting point of Gabor then being able to do his research on attachment and everything. But children act out, or children appear to be bad or bad behavior or dysfunctional when they lose connection with their parents. That attachment wound is broken. And the psychologists were saying that's the most important thing for humans. We think that we're hardwired for survival, but we're actually hardwired for connection. And survival is secondary to connection, because without connection, human beings can't survive. It's what I've been saying, in dozens of videos. It's like we are tribal, we are herd animals, we're mammals, and we're hardwired to work together and stay in connection. And that is so hardwired. It doesn't go back a few thousand years. It goes back, we're also mammals, and that's there in our DNA. It goes back millions of years, this need for connection. And human beings need to connect even more than any other animals, because we're so immature when we're born. We're like we could be another 18 months in the womb because we're so underdeveloped and our brain's not developed. But when we don't get the proper attachment and connection as little babies, then our brains literally don't grow, and that then leads us not to have the capacity to connect or to relate. And this is the collective trauma pattern that's been kind of imprinted into us over the last few thousand years. It's like the damage to this connection. And it's like, how do we maintain our connection with our children, even if we're stressed in parenting? It's like the whole thing about sleep training, when this is like a false concept, trying to train your child to go to sleep, because you're actually damaging the child when you kind of leave them to cry, because more than anything, the child wants to feel safe in the connection. And that even if you can't physically, and coming back, I am coming back to your question about connection around the world, is that even if we can't physically be connected, at least being connected with our words and with our intentions and with messaging, with, in whatever way. It's like, Brigitte, you're always here in my heart, and to give you, that we've been connecting daily almost, haven't we, with little messages, little, sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. And even if we don't message, I really feel, even if I don't message certain people, I really feel I hold the connection. And what you were sharing, Gabo Mati was mentioning, he was speaking about it, how tiny babies, we have tendency from some books which were studied and researched, and our parents followed them,
Dr.
thinking
Spock.
that yes, whatever. For English, it was Dr. Spock. I think in France, it was another a female doctor, and they all followed it. Leave the child to cry. No, the child's brain, it needs to be in your energy field. It needs to attach. It needs to connect. It needs to touch. It needs to feel. And if it doesn't have that, it's the same. Trees are the same. When a tree is attacked, it will give a message to all the other trees around.
Yeah, that we are profoundly interconnected. Not only the human need to connect and the mammal need to connect, but there's this profound interconnection around the planet, and we have been systematically destroying this connection, either deliberately or unconsciously. But this has certainly been something very consciously that's been done to us, and we've been coerced into, and we've then, through the way we've kind of bought into it, we've actually coerced other people in our social systems. Like the police now are coercing people, particularly in Australia and the medical profession, to go along with this agenda of the, the 666 agenda. The 6 people are the maximum that can meet. I mean, obviously not right in this moment, but this was what it was: 6 feet apart. It's madness. But this whole thing, I went into a shop today and almost hit my face into this plastic screen around the counter. And it's like, oh my God, have you still got that up? And they said, yes, we're being told we have to, legally, we have to keep this screen, this separation. And I went into a solicitor's office today to sign something. I had to go into this long room, and there was this huge long table in there, and there was this perspex barrier in the middle of the table. And then she came in through another door. I went in through one door, and she came in through another door with her face like this. And then she's like, pushing this piece of paper towards me down this long table and asked me to sign it, and she wouldn't let me use the pen she was holding. I had to hold another pen. I mean, this is insanity, people. For the love of God, this is insanity. And this is so destructive to our health and to our mental well-being. And we are creating planetary psychosis at this moment in time. And it is destroying our connections. And this connection between us, this is the most precious and the most important thing for our health, for the health of humanity, that we have to maintain our connection. So, like, don't go along. This is evil, 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 evil stuff.
It is trying, Juliet. It is trying. But I have to remind myself, I'm a being of pure light. I can reconnect any strands as long as I stay aligned with my heart. They're going with a story, maybe to keep their job or whatever. But if I go in with that alignment in my heart, then of course, this planet is so powerful. They have no idea. I walked by the ocean. I walked on the sand. I listened to the wind. I'm back home. I walk in the garden. The vibrancy, the height, the height of the frequencies when they are natural is so amped up, is so high. It can bring balance into anything. So it's down to us. We can give our energy to that and think, oh, they are doing that and we are not choosing to do that. So we are dividing, or we're just choosing to stay absolutely aligned moment by moment. That's not easy. It's really not easy.
No, it's not easy, and like everything has been kind of pushed on us to kind of buy into this madness, this insanity, and like all this mind control and everything that's happening, and so many people, so many families that have separated and fallen out or alienated, which is why with Jill Barham I've set up the Outsider Support Network, which people can also join to get some support. But it's like we have to not buy into this agenda and do everything possible to stay connected with our loved ones, even if it seems, even if they are getting this thing stuck in them, and even if they're buying into the agenda, because ultimately it's going to be the savior of the planet and the human population if we can just, through all this, stay aligned, stay in a high vibration, stay connected.
That's so important. Yeah, it's so important what you just said. And Jack just said, yes, you refuse to be triggered by the madness and you rise above and simply find it amusing. Well, it's very sad. It can be amusing at times, but it is sad because some people are dying and some people are losing their jobs and some people are in the streets. And this is just, yes, it's unfolding. But it's pushing us to go back to what's my sole purpose? What am I doing with my life? Which goes back to what we were discussing at the beginning of this call. What are the choices I'm going to make? And in a way, not go with divide to conquer, not go with, you mentioned, Juliet, a group for the outsiders.
The Outsider Support Network.
Yeah, let's be mindful of the groups we create right now, because I'm a child of the end of the war, and the Germans. I mean, there was so much creation of the Aryan race with the blue eyes and blonde hairs, even if they were Jews. Some of the parents had to choose one child out of two, and that child would have been raised as an Aryan child. That takes some thinking, okay?
That's crazy.
And it's so saddening. So in a way, what is it that we are co-creating? Yes, good to offer support, but we need to be mindful because it's so easy to divide again by creating more groups where some have had and made a choice for some reason, I mean, speaking even of my children, some of them have had, and grandchildren, some of them have had to make the choice of going with this experimentation because of the pressure at work. If you don't do that, you will lose your job. And if you lose your job, you can't pay your bills, you can't feed yourself. So it's you know, yes, it is a storyline. It's meant to wake up humanity, but humanity has been enslaved for so many millions of years that waking up now means, okay, I need to think, I need to ponder, I need to meditate. But when you have been brainwashed, that's going to be really, you might have to have a very hard fact in your face before you wake up. You know, it's like being on the edge of a precipice. And then sometimes you go into the precipice.
Yeah, people are having really, really tough times right now.
Yeah.
And
So,
it's like more and more shocking information coming out and more amazing things happening as well. I want to keep a balance here. It's like,
it's very important to keep the balance.
yeah.
Very important, because we are going to see October is Red October.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's meant to be Red October, and it's meant to be very, very intense and in your face up to around the middle of October, and then to begin to change. Is that you?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's not going to reach the media. It's going to reach some media, but not all the media, because what we have to understand is every government and every media, almost everyone, has been compromised one way or another. And humanity, you know, I speak for myself. You know, I'm part of this humanity. I'm part of those when I was younger. Yes, who even, you know, just was not conscious of how some of my thoughts or some of my emotions could impact others and the field of energy. Now I'm very conscious. Whatever I choose, I will impact the energy field. So it really matters right now. What are my thoughts? What are the emotions I share? And what are the words I choose to share? So it does require a lot of pondering and being very still before maybe even addressing a subject as important as what we're talking about today. You know, like babies being left to cry when in fact they are distressed and they need to be in the field of energy and touching and being hugged and being put on the body of the mother or the father. And then they quieten down, because then they have done the attachment bond is back and is secure. And that tiny little baby, even up to 3, 4, 5 years, they need to touch. So in a way, we are witnessing right now the ultimate of being taken. All that is being taken from us. We're being shown how does it feel when you are removed from community. And my feeling is we need to go deeper into what is it that I wish to create as a community? Who do I want to vote for? Who do I want as true friends in my life? So it's taking us back. If I bring back the other side, okay, instead of going, they're winning, win-win, they're winning both ways. No. The other side is, what am I going to choose to co-create? And do I want, like today, I had a medical form that everything is going to be computerized and all my details will be computerized and all my appointments will be computerized. And the only choice I have is to say yes or no. Well, I'm going to say no. Well, of course. So we have a choice, but we have to stand in that choice. We have to say no. And that means, where is my fear? Well, there's a shaman. My fear is walking beside me. She's a friend. And when she's there, I said, okay, what are you showing me? And sometime she will show me that there is danger. As we're born, fear is there beside us. It's always been taught by the Amerindians. It's not about cutting fear out or cutting any of your feelings out. It's about giving them a little bit of space and saying, oh, let me get to know you. Would you like to sit with me and have a cup of tea? Or a cake? Or what do you like? And just sit them a little bit further so you feel comfortable. But don't give them power over you. So in a way, it's fascinating what's happening right now in our faces. Are we going to give power over, or are we going to wake up? In Israel, the people are waking up. And my God, they've been pushed to the end. You know, massive mandatory experimentation of the jabs on the Jews again. You know, people are waking up everywhere in every country. Now, that is very hopeful, right? But you have to remember, even restaurants in France who had sanitary pass compulsory, they were caught, completely caught, because it's illegal to refuse somebody, because then you are, what's the word?
Discriminating.
You're discriminating. So legally, I could have put that restaurant to court for discriminating me, not allowing me to go in. But if I do that, then they have the obligation, they've been told to put that piece of paper. And in the end, I just handed it over. It was a choice again. We are at crossroads when we have to choose. Do I go straight on? Do I go right or go left?
Yeah.
And it's the same with the beehive. It's the same with the ants. They have to make choices of the food they're going to take, of how they're going to feed the queen. You have to make choices. Who are you going to be giving your support to? And I would say your priority is to resource yourself, to feed your soul, to feed your body, and to be very grounded by staying resourced, quiet, calm, meditation, listen to music, go in nature. Keep yourself warm, have plenty of food, drink good water. I would say those are the basics of every day. And wake up greeting yourself.
Yeah.
Greet yourself. And
Yeah.
greet all the people that are in your life. And every day I was looking at what was positive. And I realized I was with a friend who is very, very exhausted and has no energy. And every day she would look at what was not working. And I would look at her and say, this has worked wonderfully today, hasn't it? I asked the universe for sunshine. We've got sunshine. That's vitamin D3 for free.
Yeah. It's where you're putting your focus, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the glass half empty or the glass half full. So
yeah, and it really matters what you were saying earlier on, Juliet, is let's look at the glass which is half full and let's see what we create now. You know, like you said, you are creating a group for support for those who have been, you know, supporting, and that's very important. But we have to be very mindful of what we co-create so we don't exclude. Because if we do that, we are back to the same paradigm that took place in the war, 1419, 39-45. It's the same. We're going back, revisiting. We need to rise above that mire. Otherwise, we're getting trapped again in the same things again. So them and us, we are the pure blood, they are not. No, let's not look at it like that. As a starseed, I know if I stay with all my codes of light, I can transform that. And Mother Nature knows how to do that. Look at Chernobyl. Chernobyl now is a paradise. There are trouts in the rivers. Would you have believed that?
Wow. No, I didn't know that.
There are deers. Well, that video got taken down last year. I did a video on Chernobyl. Got taken down off YouTube and off Facebook. Interesting, isn't it? And the fungi have that capacity, and Mother Nature has that capacity to bring everything back to a higher frequency.
Yeah,
And
you can never crush life, can you?
No.
This is why if we support life, if we support connection, if we support creativity.
Yeah, we're here to help each other and include everyone. Yes, Jack, we are.
Yeah.
So, Melanie, how are you doing? Yeah. And
So yeah, just wondering, people, everyone who's listening, I mean, what's coming up for you at the moment? What is key? Are you feeling down? Are you feeling kind of stretched and challenged and overwhelmed? Or are you finding some resource? Are you finding some places to be creative? Are you finding opportunities to build a different kind of reality, perhaps? Are there people you're connecting to that are changing your life?
oh, Melanie, yes, I'm fine. That's good, Melanie. It really matters to find your tribe right now. That's beautiful, Melanie. What about Elias? Elias, who is the I won't let myself get down or they win.
Sorry. I won't let myself go down or they win. Absolutely not. Yeah.
Well, who are they? Let's not give them any power, Melanie. Let's completely take them down. Don't even, let's not even give them power over us. They don't exist if our thought forms don't give them any energy. They need our energy. They need us to say yes to fear. And I'm not going there. That's why it really matters to listen to good music, to go in nature, to watch the sun, listen to the rain. I was in a caravan camp, and in the night I would suddenly be jolted when we had a storm a couple of times, and I was under trees in the caravan camp, and it would hit the roof of the caravan. I would just jump and think, oh, it's a fir cone. And then I would hear the pitter patter of the rain on the roof. And I'd think, oh, that is beautiful sound. And I would just listen and go into meditation until I would go into sleep.
It's very soothing. Yeah.
And I would hear the acorn every so often dropping like a squirrel. I would just go ding, bang. And I would just think, what a gift, life. And instead of staying awake, I would just think, oh, that is a gift. The tree shading the acorns. Autumn is back. What a rhythm. We're moving with autumn. And the beautiful radiance of those golden ferns and the fungi. I mean, I found some beautiful fungi, edible fungi. Nature, it's just so alive. And then it's preparing with autumn. It's just starting to go down. So we are moving in autumn. And it's the season of abundance.
What's it Keats said? Abundance and mellow fruitfulness. Into Keats' poem. I can't remember. Can't remember any more than that. But yeah, it's such a beautiful season, isn't it? And every morning when I look out of my window here at Healing Waters, just looking out, and we're on the Somerset Levels and these incredible mists, the mist of Avalon with the trees kind of half shrouded in this like sea of mist, and the sun kind of piercing the mist. It's exquisite. Yeah.
So yes, simplicity of nature is a wonderful reminder. Yes, Melanie. And I'm very happy and grateful for my beautiful tribe, living in gratitude every day. Yes, Jack, that is beautiful.
Yeah. So, just asking everybody here, what are you grateful for? What gratitude can you have in your life? What is supporting you right now?
Yeah, because it's the season of abundance. So what is your abundance as you're moving into autumn? What are your crops that you're harvesting inside? I mean, Melanie, you said you won't let yourself get down. That's a very profound, you know, that's a big crop that you've harvested for yourself. And the simplicity of nature, that's profound too, because you can resource yourself. And Jack, yes, that happiness and gratefulness for that beautiful tribe you have created. Yes, that's a beautiful. Is there something else? Oh, and you dance and sing on my own. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. I would love to see that, Melanie. Seeing you dance in the morning dew, seeing you dance in the sunlight, you dance alone or under a tree and sing. This is what the planet Earth has need of right now. Each one of us, we need to reclaim our codes, our gifts, our skills, and we need to openly give them in abundance. I was by the ocean. Every day I did a video. It was a gifting.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see your videos, Brigitte.
But it's a gifting. I'm told, do this, do that, and I'm just gifting. I did a beautiful seagull on a tree. And what came to me was the beautiful story of Jonathan Livingston's seagull. And we're right now in that story of Jonathan Livingston's seagull, who is standing alone. He doesn't want to be fed all that crap stuff. He wants to do his own thing. He wants to rise and raise his frequency, and that's what he does. Maybe we should all read that beautiful book again. I read it when I was in my 30s.
Yeah, there's lots of beautiful books to read, isn't it? I'm reading the autobiography of Saint Teresa at the moment.
Ah, yes.
Have you read it?
Well, when I was very young, she was one of my saints, and Saint Francis of Assisi too, and Saint Bernadette. But they had such terrible lives. You know, they did believe in the. What's the word? Crucifixion of the body. So Saint Therese was putting. You know, she was really, in a way, punishing her physical body.
Yeah. I mean, humanity's come a long way since then. I mean, they were remarkable people, but the whole culture about power over and like original sin, that you're bad and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Richard Bach offers so much wisdom. I love illusions too. Well, maybe, Jack, illusions are there with Neptune in Pisces, which is the shadow side of Neptune in water. It's what's underneath the iceberg. Is illusions are there. They're tests. They're big challenges, Jack. So if we go with illusions, we can go down the rabbit hole. But if we see illusion, then we make a huge, giant step forward. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's crucial at this moment? It's like everything that's going on is a giant psyop, isn't it? It's like, what do we believe about what's being put out through the media, or what we believe about, you know, what is it to be human? If we go along with that agenda, it's like we've got a very different kind of illusion or psyop from what it's about really to be human, isn't it? I mean, human beings are amazing.
Yes. Yeah. And the beautiful thing is how many people reconnected this year with nature. They couldn't travel, and they're starting to even reconnect with families. So it will take a little time, but it's down to us as, you know, as we share and as we connect on those calls with, you know, with people and with life. It's what is it that I wish to share that really matters right now? And I would say to stay in absolute alignment and connected moment by moment, and not going with judgments, comparing, dividing, separating, because that is what we have been under for millions of years. And that goes with ourselves. So what are the parts of myself? And that goes back to you, Juliet, and trauma healing, and the recent collective trauma with Thomas Hubel, Gabor Mate, Peter Levine, and many, many. I mean, there's so many, I haven't finished listening to it. And they were introducing as well most beautiful poetry and musicians. I mean, it was divine, it was sublime. There was a sense of interconnecting and weaving and sacredness as well, and even on the edge of perfection. And really touched me to tears because the interviews were so profound and the music was sublime. And the poetry was just taking you to that place where you're just on the edge of creating the new, creating what really matters for humanity. Not staying hooked into the trauma, into the story, but knowing that, oh, there's the light. I can go. Somebody is holding the hand out. I can take the hand. Like with Juliet, or you, Jack, or Melanie, or anyone else on this call. I can hold your hand. You're not alone. We're all facing this.
We're all connected, and that's a symptom, isn't it, of our collective trauma, this illusion that we're all alone, that we're isolated, but we're not.
Yeah. No, we're not. And it's like a tree, even a tree in a desert is never alone because it gets the animals who come and lie under it. It gets the connection with the moon. The moon will connect with the tides and the sun and the seasons. And the tree will connect with someone who will come just to sit and rest its back against it, even if it's a dead tree. And that's important because even those that are dead and gone before us, they are going on down the lineage and we are going on. And we owe it to them to rise, not stay with the story of what they could not change, what they could not transform. But we are in a gate right now, a portal of energy, which is sublimely powerful with the light. And it's down to us. Are we going to support and serve the beings of light that we are? And am I going to be the person that I am? Or am I going to side with the story and go with fear, go with peer pressure, go with collective pressure, or hold my alignment in the eye of the storm? And my sense is we need to be in the eye of the storm and shine our light.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's why I was asking you, what is your abundance? What is it that you have now? You've had the whole year. What are your skills? Individually, Melanie, Jack, and everyone on this call. What were you born to shine and share with everyone you meet? Here on this call, but everyone you meet every day of your life. Can be an ant, it can be a bee, can be a grasshopper, can be a human being. And like Juliet, going to sign a piece of paper. And even this person was handing it to her at 3 or 4 meters, was with fear. And you see fear in people's eyes. And the choice is either they will let you smile at them, but if you see that they are not open, then respect that. And watch your thought forms and just send a little bit more light around them. That's the challenge. Not to go with, Oh, she didn't say hello to me. Oh, she didn't smile back at me. No, maybe they want to be private. Maybe they're absolutely terrified. And when you're terrified, your system, the nervous system, Juliet is much better at speaking of that, even though I'm trained and trauma trained and qualified. Juliet can speak much more of that. There is, it just, you close in, everything
The social
contracts,
nervous system, yeah.
you know, and then you stop functioning. So you're going to meet more and more people who are no longer able to function. And what does that mean? That means you have to become kinder, gentler,
Yeah.
softer, create more spaciousness inside you so they feel they have space just to be, and then something will just happen if you manage to hold that when you go shopping.
Yeah, that it can open again. If you can hold like a safe harbor for people and they don't feel under threat from, what you're putting out, then they can open, their social nervous system can come online again. And then
Yeah.
you get that connection.
Yeah, because if you go onto them because of your need to help, they will withdraw, they will pull away, and in a way you're coming too strong. So it's like an animal that's been wounded. When you see a bird that's fallen from the nest, you just don't go at it with your big hands. You just go very slowly and you start changing your energy field. I did that with a hawk a few years ago when Juliet was with me. It had hit itself in the window. It was really knocked out.
That was amazing. Yeah.
And then I just very, very softly and gently picked it up. And then its eyes was closed. And then I just sent the most beautiful love from my heart and said, you will live. You are living. I will give you some of my energy. And one eye flicked open. And this was a hawk with a hawk beak. And then I looked in his eyes and I closed my eyes and it opened it again, closed my eyes again, just giving that space so it would just gently start coming back from that shock. And I feel this is what we need to learn, how to be with each other without stepping in each other's field of energy. And while holding as high a frequency as we're able to, a frequency of softness, compassion, gentleness, and love. And lovely, hello, John Waterfield. We are with you live. That's lovely.
John and Lizzie. Yeah, I was just thinking, John and Lizzie, about you just in this moment, and then you popped up. It's so strange. I was just thinking, I wonder if I should send them the link of the video, and then they're here. You're here.
Yes.
It's great.
And Melanie just said, yup. I don't know what that means. I'm not born English.
It means yes.
It means yes.
So it's yes. You were saying yes to what Brigitte was talking about
I
the
don't know.
walk, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really, that's what I wanted to share today, because whatever is happening, we started this call with I'm back home. I'm a guardian of this place. And I'm reaching the end of being a guardian of this place. For a few more months, I've been told I still have to be a guardian of this place. And John just said, I always watch you on catch up. Yeah, well, right now you're live. Lovely. And we were asking, because autumn is the time for abundance and bringing in the crops. So what is it, John, that you're going to offer as your crop to yourself, to your loved ones, and to Pachamama, to Mother Earth, to the cosmos?
John is a member of our Healing Gardens, and he's been really enjoying the crops and helping harvest. He planted dozens of pumpkins, and I think, John, your crop is the pumpkins at this moment in time, isn't it? We had the most huge harvest, and the big polytunnel is absolutely, there's a stage in along the whole length of the polytunnel. It's absolutely covered with huge pumpkins.
Well,
So
sorry.
Yeah, I think that's John's harvest, but he says inner peace is his harvest. Yeah, I think so. You're very peaceful.
I love that. Very needed, John. I go from that place too when I do the
So,
VT.
Melanie is a member of our Healing Gardens as well. So
Oh,
just to say to
beautiful.
Melanie that we are now having little gatherings. We had a lovely meeting and meal here for the new moon, didn't we, John? And oh, you saw the pumpkins, John? Yes, they are amazing. Yeah,
Wait,
and
they're going to be needed. They're going to be needed. Food is going to
yeah,
be needed right now, John.
John worked very hard in planting them all. But
Yeah.
Melanie, we're having a bonfire on the full moon. Every full moon in the Healing Gardens, we're having bonfires. So our mission this year in the Healing Gardens is to keep, to have on the new moon and the full moon a point of connection for our members. And membership is open. Whoever wants to join, you can join, even if you're in America, Marianne. Yeah. So come along, Melanie. So we
Oh,
have,
beautiful.
yeah.
Melanie, just sorry, I'm cutting across because this is so beautiful. Melanie, my abundance is to own my own moment. That's profound,
Oh,
Melanie.
where did you
Yes.
see that? I'm
Oh,
missing.
quite low down. My abundance at 1850,
Oh,
5 minutes.
I think you're
My
saying a
No,
couple.
it's under John. My abundance is living moment by moment. Yes,
Oh,
that
how
makes total sense. So when is the next moon? The 20th of October. It's the new full moon in the sign of Aries. So be mindful not to go with the energy of the external warrior going on the war path, because what's going to be shown on media coverage is war is building up. What you need to address is your internal warrior, the warrior of light, the warrior of peace, the warrior of silence, stillness, and alignment. Those are the warriors I would personally invite in my field right now. Lizzie, will be seeing my daughter on Friday. I must remember to do as you say and just let her be without pushing my opinions on her. Yes, definitely. Yes. If I may say something, John, I have 5 children, 16 grandchildren. Many of my children and grandchildren have gone with a total different storyline than mine, which was to stay with my own immune system. And we have to respect. But what we can offer is some wonderful protocols when they want, when they're ready. And that is love. That is true love. So is the full moon the 20th of October? I've got a feeling it is around. And the 19th of October, there's going to be a planetary, something very, very complex, quite painful planetarily, cosmologically with some of the planets. So the 19th is a very, we need to stay with absolute alignment from now on, please. Moment by moment. I
Yeah.
love that.
So Jack is coming down. Sorry, Jack, you haven't timed it wrong. I'm sure you'll have an amazing time. So I'm running a workshop with Tareth here on the day after. That's what Jack's coming down to. I'll put the link
Oh,
underneath
I
here.
know Tareth.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's got incredible. He was born. I don't know if he was born with it or he had a near-death experience. That's right.
Yeah.
And this thing happened where he manifests fragrant oils in his hands when he's meditating and when he's doing healing. It's really quite profound that I've witnessed. So he was asking me to do a workshop with him. And so we are doing one, and there are still spaces on it if you want to book. It's not too late, and it's all about reducing stress and aligning to source, because Tareth channels source energy as well.
Yes,
So
it does. It
Jack's
does.
coming down for that
Yeah.
workshop together with Paul, and Lizzie's come in, and yes, it's going to be amazing. So
It's a great revelation. He reveals, if you're open to his work. I trained with Tareth a long time ago, and he revealed, but in those days I was a very young maiden. And yes, it takes time to integrate. and take on board, moment by moment, the source, the divine source that's coming through you, through this vessel. So for this incarnation, I'm in this vessel. Bonfire on the Wednesday, Tareth on the Saturday. That's what Melanie's just written.
Yeah.
Okay.
So lots of opportunities to connect with each other, connect with self, to stay aligned, to keep our vibrations high. Lots of opportunities, and like that's my intention at the moment, to create lots of opportunities for us all to stay aligned and connected.
And I would say be mindful of what you co-create with groups. So you don't create groups that revisit old programs, please. All right? Like them and us, we, the ones not experimented on, and them being experimented on, because there is, from my understanding as a starseed, there is a divine plan that's much more complex than any of us can grasp.
Yeah.
And it has been from the Alliance on the higher divine plans. It is unfolding right now. And if we make the wrong choices, let's put it like that, if we make a choice where we revisit those patterns, maybe we need to, but let's be mindful, because we will slow the process down. That's what I need to say.
Okay.
And I will write personally to you, Jack, about something I picked up, okay? And then you will see how that resonates with you or does not resonate with you, because I know you came from a pure heart, all right? When you invited me to something. And I just need to say, because of my field of expertise, I'm a tracker and I'm a seer. I will say that now, but I only use it when I'm given it to see. And then I have a responsibility to share it. Okay? So that's where I'm at.
Okay. So we're coming to the end of the call,
Yes.
and I'm just wondering whether we can all just sit together and
Silence.
Yeah.
Silence.
Brigitte, if you play the bowl, maybe if you do us some lovely vibrations, and let us just sit and focus on what's our harvest, what's our intention, and staying aligned to source. I think that would be really, really beautiful. So if we could do that together.
Grateful for each moment we're given without harvesting. It's so beautiful. You tell me where you hear it?
So come across again, Brigitte. I'm not hearing it when you're about in that position. I hear it more.
So which position do you hear me? When do you hear me? Can you show me when?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. So lots of love to you all. Have a beautiful, beautiful week.
Blessings. Namaste.
Thank you so much for coming on the call, and if you know it will support somebody, then please do share. Lots of love to you.
The brilliance of our current age is I can feel the resonance of your ball half a world away. Yes, thank you. Yes, that's the beauty of internet, Marianne MacDonald. Thank you. Let's hold that frequency from you to us. Thank you.
Lots of love.
Loads of love. Bye. Elias.
Much deep love and appreciation to us both, says Jack. And Melanie says delightful. Lots of love. Thank you, Melanie.
And thank you for offering the time. Bye-bye.
Bye.